Think about a long journey, like waiting for years to achieve something big. That's what Arsenal did to reach the Champions League quarterfinals after 14 years, from when their captain Martin Odegaard was just 11 to now. With older players like Jorginho leading the team, it's a story of never giving up.
Arsenal's comeback is like a fairy tale, where they prove that determination and hard work always pays off.
The North London club went past Portuguese side FC Porto last night before landing in the Champions League quarterfinals. As much as this is not the farthest the Gunners have gone in the UCL, Arsenal will never forget the 12th of December 2024. Arsenal's win at the Emirates last night is nothing like their recent wins in the league, which came on a platter. Against Porto last night, they narrowly squeezed into victory, and they have David Raya to thank. He kept them in the game with a couple of saves and also stopped 2 penalties. Arsenal have been in the form of their lives, and certain folks felt the second leg match against Porto was going to be a walk in the park. Interestingly, they had to wait until about 4 minutes past the end of the first half before getting the only goal of the game.
But you don't have to wait any longer before smashing that like button. Also, I'm accepting donations in the form of subscriptions.
The Gunners came into this game with a need to balance things out after a 0-1 loss in the first leg. At this point, it's a common knowledge that they have their equalizer. However, they had to huff and puff before the goal was scored by Trossard in the 41st minute, courtesy of a Martin Odegaard's sublime pass. Although Odegaard's pass was a defensive splitter, Trossard has to be given the credit for scoring from a difficult angle. Arsenal are in the last 8 of the Champions League yet again, and it's interesting how they had to go through Porto to get to the quarterfinals in 2010. This is perhaps a jinx Porto might need to break out of, but that will not be this year. Porto might be out, however, they put a great performance. They were playing away from home and were led by 41-year-old Pepe, who might just have played his last Champions League match. Just like Arsenal, Porto had a game plan, and that was to disrupt Arsenal's rhythm. This plan worked in the first leg and appeared to be working in the second leg until Trossard's goal. The outcome of this match makes it a one-sided affair. There is a winner and there is a loser. But Porto could have gone ahead before Arsenal scored a goal. Raya was forced to make a save after Evanilson almost found the back of the net. Raya's save of Porto's last penalty earned him the Man of the Match award. But even if Arsenal won the game in normal time, he would still have been the man of the match. He was also forced to make a save from Francesco Coensensao shot towards the end of the match. Apart from Raya replacing Ramsdale, Arsenal came into this match with the same team that started against Brentford over the weekend. Additionally, the only difference between the teams that lost to Porto a couple of weeks ago was Jorginho coming into the starting lineup. Although he didn't provide an assist, his presence gave Rice the freedom to move up the pitch. Well, unlike Jorginho, who wasn't in the starting 11 in the first leg but started in the second leg, Gabriel Martinelli couldn't get into the team because of an injury sustained against Sheffield. Quite unlike Arsenal, which made a change to their starting lineup, Porto maintained the same starting 11 that won the first leg against Arsenal. Trossard's first goal was good enough to keep Arsenal in the game, but it wasn't good enough to help the Gunners walk into the quarterfinals. Although the Gunners had to wait for Raya's heroic save before their quarterfinal entry, they thought they did get to the next round in the 68th minute when Odegaard found the back of the net. Sadly, this goal was ruled out by VAR. Lots of Arsenal fans did not agree with this. Even Mikel Arteta got booked because of his disagreement. However, they had no choice, as the referee claimed there was an infringement on Pepe by Kai Havertz during the build-up of the goal. If this goal had been counted, the Gunners would have gone by 2 goals in the match with an aggregate of 2-1. Since it wasn't counted, the match got more intense as both teams tried to get the better of each other. The fight between Arsenal and Porto might have been obvious on the pitch. Interestingly, it extended beyond the pitch as the coaches of both teams got booked for ranting from the touchline. The game was intense, but both teams had very few chances created. The only one clear-cut chance was Arsenal's, and the result is the only goal of the match. Although there was just one goal of this match, there were quite a number of shots. Arsenal had 13 shots in this match, and 4 of them were on target. Porto, on the other hand, had 3 shots on target out of 10 total shots. This seemed fair as the Gunners had 58.1% possession of the game, while Porto had 41.9%. This game possession might seem seem like there wasn't a lot of separating these teams, but the number of corner kicks gives a different perspective. Arsenal had 9 while Porto could only manage 1. This gives the impression that the Gunners did a lot of attacking while Porto were busy defending. Arsenal came out to win and were not willing to play safe. They had the ball longer and had a passing accuracy of 82.2%. This is in addition to 3 offsides, 68% of aerial duels won, 18 fouls, 20 free kicks won, and 2 yellow cards. Porto, on the other hand, didn't seem like they were willing to score an extra goal. Apparently, they simply wanted to defend the goal they scored in the first leg. This didn't go according to plan. While this match lasted, Porto had 1 yellow card, won 17 free kicks, committed 20 fouls, won 31% of the aerial duels, made 3 saves, had 3 offsides, and had a passing accuracy of 70%. It's a break from the norm for the Champions League matches to end up in penalties. Somehow, there is usually a winner. Due to this, Arsenal as well as Porto perhaps didn't prepare for penalties. However, that would be difficult to believe as Arsenal players gave a good account of themselves. Sadly, we can't say exactly the same for Porto. Arsenal started the penalties and captain Martin Odegaard took the initiative to shoot the first penalty, which he scored. His joy was short-lived as Porto's captain Pepe also scored his team's first penalty. Havertz took Arsenal's next penalty and scored. This was followed by a miss from Porto's Wendell. Saka went on to score for Arsenal and Porto's Grujic responded with a goal. Things were getting intense, but Declan Rice scored regardless of the tension. Porto's Galeno stepped up to play his team's fourth penalty and it was brilliantly saved by Raya, and Arsenal were through to the quarterfinals. After a heroic performance in the regular time, Raya rose up to the challenge when his team needed him the most, earning him a Man of the Match award. Speaking of the outcome of the penalties, he said, "I should have saved 3, but I'm over the moon to save 2. We played a really good game from the start, we dominated, created chances, and it went down to penalties. We've worked a lot on penalties this year, and all the hard work with the goalie coach and the team has paid off. This means everything. You play football for these kinds of things, and I'm lucky to be playing for Arsenal, to be in the Champions League and to get through to the quarterfinals, where we're just going to enjoy the night." Arsenal will know who they will be playing in the quarterfinals on Friday. Hopefully, it's a team they're comfortable playing against.
Now, let's talk about Kai Havertz. He put another solid performance on Tuesday night, but if you want to know how he became one of Arsenal's most important players, watch this video next.